up, YouTube? It's me, the artisan MC, fresh out the movie, here to give you my reaction like only I can. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Appreciate the early birds for coming in here. Small channels need the help of the viewers, and make no mistake about it, this is a small channel. So, your support is always necessary and important. Important. Shout out to the No One. Said thank you for your geek service. Yes, the patron saint of geekdom has climbed off the cross to give you the good gospel. And if Kevin can be a saint, I can be a saint too. I just don't need to die to do it. Shout out to Malika Me Bain. He said peace to the Geek Elite family. Peace to you too, Malika. King Parrish, what's up? Salute to you, King. I'm here. If you want to see it, I'm here. So here I am. After seeing this movie, hope my good brother eyesight is good enough to drive. Oh, it's gonna be good enough to drive. I'm going to go shoot some pool, so my eyesight is gonna have to be good, or I'm gonna get my ass spanked all over the table, and I'm not in the mood to be getting spanked by anyone. So I'm gonna go in there on a mad one and start taking heads. That is the stated goal, and that is the purpose. Purpose is to slay. All in my way. Just hold it back. So I will say this to my good brother Malika, because one of my notes I took a lot of notes in this one too, actually. One of my notes was BTM are on display. Black Knives were on display, and it was glorious. It was glorious. It's not a spoiler, but there's a point in the movie where everybody in regular clothes and Tiana Parrish in these little black shorts. Oh, my damn. Oh, my motherfucking damn. Damn. Scrumptious. Scrumdiddlyumptious. I wasn't mad at that shit. Mad at the choice of shoes, but I was not mad at the choice of shorts. That was working for me. That's what fit. So I was thinking about how to start this for folks, because I know the sentiment that's out about the movie, and I was really thinking of where to go. I am running a little bit hot in the sense that I do have a little bit of irritation in the back of my mind, but this has nothing to do with the movie. So I'm having to divorce that from how I give my review on the movie, so it doesn't taint it. Because the last time I did some shit like that, I ended up walking out of a movie fucking pissed off, because I ended up having an argument after. This time I had one a little bit before, so I'm a little irritable. But I'm trying not to let that affect the way I review this movie. So let me just say this. You probably already heard, because most of y'all have spoilers, and I'm not going to do any spoilers. This is a reaction, not a review. So don't look for me to tell you what's going on in the damn story and stuff. I'm just reacting to what I saw in the movie. What I saw, my impressions of what I saw. A review will come later on Shop Talk Live on Sunday. That's when I can actually, who are brave enough to venture to see it and who actually want to talk about it. That's it. Discuss it, chop it up, dissect it, do whatever. The idea that I came up with is just give you all the bad shit first. The reasons why you would not like this movie, right? Because that's what most people show up for. You show up to hear what they don't what they need to be mad about and not what they need to look for in the movie to like. So, I will give you the negative first. I'll give you the negative first. So, there is all mostly women in this movie. There is. There is mostly women in the movie. What up, BMT? People just say that. Still playing games. I fucking hate people playing games. So there is a majority of women in this video. I mean, not video, movie. And they ain't all. Some got makeup on, whatever. That doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. Why? Why fucking should it? Why should it? Barbie movie was full of women too, as far as I know, not because I actually watched the shit, just because I kind of assume it's starring the main character is a female. There's going to be a lot of females in it, especially if there's a female director. That's just par for the course, right? I don't say the same thing when it's a movie directed by guys and it's mostly guys in it. That just seems silly. It is what the fuck it is. No spoiler alert. Sam Jackson acts like Sam Jackson. And Nick Fury is basically Sam Jackson in the MCU. So Sam Jackson is consistent in the fact that in Captain Marvel, he was kind of acting like Sam Jackson too. Nick Fury was acting like Sam Jackson. He was making jokes and shit like that. Being funny and doing some of the other shit that Sam Jackson does. I wouldn't doubt that an actor of Sam Jackson's caliber and stature was able to ad-lib some of his own lines. Wouldn't doubt that shit at all. And they weren't necessarily terrible lines, but if you don't like black dudes, you'd probably have a problem with that shit. Especially ones who get a lot of notoriety in MCU. Yeah, that would be the common thing to go on. What else? Brie Larson is in this. She is. She still walks around with her fucking fist balled up, which I fucking can't stand. And her, trying to be tough pose with her little bony ass arms. Whatever, man. That's her. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You already seen it in one movie. There's absolutely no point in being mad about it the second time around. You saw it the first time, she did it again. What the fuck? What are you gonna do about that shit? Yeah, like it's not really a Sam Jackson effect. It's just Sam. Look, as far as I remember, Marlon Brando, after a point before he died, that's how he was showing up to movies. That's how he was showing up to movies. He get to do what the fuck he wanted to. Nobody was telling him how to necessarily act and shit like that. Marlon Brando was being Marlon fucking Brando. He already did his career with doing the big dramatic shit where people had to give him direction. Before he died in his career, he did whatever the fuck he wanted to. He didn't come on set and be giving him a bunch of damn directions. If he wanted to ad lib a scene, he thought it would work better like that, then that's what they let him do. What was the whole shit in Island of Dr. Moreau? Wasn't he drunk and shit like that? Did he want to be there? He'll cash the check. Now, I'm not saying that that's what Sam Jackson was doing in this shit, but Jackson gets a lot of leeway with how he plays the Nick Fury that looks like Sam Jackson. That's what the fuck it is. Whatever. What else would you not like about this shit? Yes, the main villain was a woman, and in the comic books, it was a male. Okay, is that something new that we've seen from Marvel, or is that kind of par for the course? Yeah, I shouldn't say Marvel, but from the MCU. Is that par for the course, or is it something new? Y'all tell me. So that's not surprising. No, it's not. Not in the least bit. She has some nice thighs. I'm saying that just as I was sitting there really scoping her ass out on the screen, but the scene where she walks towards the camera and the camera's down low like it's trying to look up her whole uterus, and all I saw was thighs. So don't blame me, blame the director and the fucking cameraman. That's what was in my full field of vision. Now, what was I not expecting? I wasn't expecting actual decent moment between Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau. Wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to see Tiana Parrish and Brie Larson actually give some actual acting performances that made you feel something for what both of these characters have actually been through. That's what I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting too much of Kamala Khan's family. Wasn't expecting too much of that. Because if you listen to a lot of dumb motherfuckers, nobody watched the Ms. Marvel show. So I guess I'll raise my hand and say I'm nobody. Because I watched the show. Because I don't like talking about shit that I haven't fucking watched. I think it's absolutely ignorant. And I don't pride myself on being ignorant. Even with this movie, as bad as everybody was saying it was going to be, and as bad as I believed it would be when I went to the movie, before I even saw it, I did still go to the movies and see it. Paid my money to see it. I didn't stream it. I didn't get it free because I'm an insider or no shit like that. I actually went to the movie, dropped my money in the bucket, and went and sat my ass down and watched the fucking movie. Why? Because I don't like talking about shit out of ignorance. Now, since I did watch the Miss Marvel show, I had a pretty favorable opinion of the Miss Marvel show. I didn't mind the family being in it. I like them. They're fun. They're fun. Why? Because they're not superpowered fucking people. They're dealing in a situation that they actually have no truck in. But they're there. Since Kamala Khan is not even out of fucking high school, it makes sense that she had some chaperones. And her parents were there watching. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Now, what else was I expecting? That it was not as annoying as I thought it was going to be. That's what I wasn't expecting. Even in the trailer with Mon Vellani screaming and stuff like that, which I don't have anything against Mon Vellani. I don't. But it wasn't as annoying as I thought it would be because it was that scene. And that was pretty much it. Now, what did I see? Oh, excuse me. One other thing that I didn't expect. A fucking Disney movie brought to life inside of a live action. That's what I didn't expect. Didn't expect that at all. And that's the exact feeling I got on it. I thought it was pretty fucking funny. I did. Given the studios was making the shit, who their parent company is, I thought it was pretty goddamn funny. Because my parallel I drew right away was like fucking Disney movies. Now, by my count, there was only one cringe line in the whole thing to me. And that's just to me. Somebody else might pick this shit apart. But understand they didn't go into it wanting to like the shit anyway. Right? There was only one cringe line. And one little bit of a spoiler I heard was about somebody complaining about the Black Girl Magic line. Okay, Sam Jackson said the shit. But so fucking what? It's a black girl. And given the context, kind of made fucking sense. But like I said, Sam Jackson gets some leeway with his lines and his dialogue. Pretty much gets to say the fuck he wants to. And so he did. So I wouldn't doubt that that line was ad-libbed. Wouldn't doubt it. Now, the one cringe line that I consider cringe was towards the end of the movie. I just thought that's fucking ridiculous. Why? Because it makes the Ms. Marvel character seem like she got a whole lesbian crush on Captain Marvel and not just a fangirl. That was a little bit too much. That line was a little bit too fucking much for me. The Black Girl Magic line didn't mean shit to me. Given the context, it didn't mean shit. It kind of made me chuckle a little bit. Like, huh. Moving on. I was more enthused about what was actually happening on the fucking screen and not concerned about, oh, she said that line. Here we go with the black girl shit. I don't give a damn. Now, the premise. In one word, the premise is punishment. Punishment for something that was done and people having to fix what they break. Now, there's a little, what I think is a jab in this script for what happens in the real world with Brie Larson. And this is not a spoiler, but in the movie, the other aliens, the Kree, call Captain Marvel the Annihilator. And for me, I thought that was a bit funny because it kind of harkens on how people feel Brie Larson entrance into the MCU has done. That she heralded the annihilation of the MCU with phase feminism. I thought that was pretty interesting. That was an interesting turn to put it in there like that because that's the meta commentary I would make on the shit. And the way Brie Larson was playing it when that name was said, she was remarking how she didn't like that shit. Why didn't she? Watch the fucking movie and find out. I'm not telling you. But that's what it was. She didn't like that shit. Made her feel some kind of way. God damn, nobody knows how to fucking park nowadays, do they? Mooks. So I found it more than a little bit interesting that that line was put in there, and that was her commentary. Quite interesting. Now, if the movie can be summed up in one word as punishment and fixing your mistakes as a subtitle, then it held consistent. It held consistent. Because that's what the fuck people had to do. They had to take some accountability. And in a meta sense, that's kind of interesting to have this character in this movie taking accountability for fucking up. I thought that was an interesting little meta commentary in the middle of this movie. Now, what else? One of the things I was concerned about was the power switching between them. And yes, they explained it in the movie that the three of them, Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and they still didn't give her a name, but we all know she's Spectrum, all have light-based powers. Now, I've said this from the beginning, that's bullshit. They don't all have light-based powers. Their powers are not the same whatsoever. Okay? Especially if you start mixing in the fact that Ms. Marvel is supposed to be a mutant. Does not track. Now, for the movie purposes, they're making it track because they already made the Ms. Marvel show, and she's already making light constructs and shit like that. Even though those light constructs are supposed to be energy from the Jinn dimension brought over here that crystallize when they come over into this dimension. See, I watched the show, so I understand how this shit works. Now, that doesn't make it light. It manifests as light, but it ain't light. Now, they said that. I called bullshit in the theater because Spectrum's power ain't just light, but she did mention the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, cool. Captain Marvel's powers ain't got shit to do with light either. It has to do with an Infinity Stone. As far as I remember, the Space Stone, which could make you teleport through space. I guess since the fastest speed through space is light, they just decided that that's what she got because it was a light speed engine. Okay, so she can travel at light speed. That don't make her powers light. That gives her, like I've said before, Energizer Bunny powers because she blew up a fucking battery and it splashed on her. But be it as it may, you want a movie to tie them all together because you kind of screwed the pooch. Okay, fine. They all got light powers. What the fuck ever. Because mind you, I'm not writing this shit. They just expect me to watch it, and I usually do watch it. What the fuck is that clicking? Now, be that as it may, I was concerned about how their power switching would work. And I will say they had a pretty decent montage for them working with that power and how it swaps back and forth between them and how to time it correctly so they can use it in a fight. It was a good montage, and it was a montage that was, to me, was consistent with what females would do. I don't know. I don't know if any of y'all have had little girls before, but that's about what I have observed from my daughter and her friends working out something together. So I'm not thrown by all of that. I'm not really thrown by that. It's like, okay, whatever, fuck. Because Logically, I can figure out what the damn thing is. It's syncing and timing. Just like Shinji and fucking Asuka, or excuse me, no, Asuka, sitting there doing Twister and DDR and shit like that together to get their minds synced up so they can take on this angel. No more ridiculous than that. It sounds like a video game thing. No, BMT, it wasn't a video game thing. In Fantastic Four, what was it, 2, 3, where they were swapping powers? Like Tim Story, a black dude that everybody shits on that movie but don't want to give him any credit for the fact that he directed it. What they didn't do in the Fantastic Four movie when they had their powers getting swapped back and forth and glitching, they didn't figure out how to make the shit work, even though they were working with the smartest man in the world. They didn't figure out how to make that shit work, to time it correctly. Reed just figured to use both of them, or more than one power at a time. They concentrated on the pratfalls part, and not the this shit needs to be functioning until we figure out how to get this from happening. We still need to fight, which I didn't mind. The fight scenes in this shit was decent. It was decent fucking fight scenes. It was better than that shit in Loki season 1. Holy shit. These motherfuckers was going in. And most of the people they ass was kicking was chicks. There was dudes in it too, but they was getting their ass kicked. And mind you, Tiana Parrish ain't no fucking fighter. I don't think Iman Vellani is no martial artist either. It looked pretty decent. So I'll say this to the criticism that they had for Marvel and Nia DaCosta saying you only direct half a movie and then the stunt people come in. That's the fuck they're there for. If you don't direct action movies like that, your ass don't need to be directing an action scene. Shut the fuck up and do your part. But the fight scenes look legit. For chicks in it. This female stuntman, what about? This is the part that pisses me off a lot of times about having to listen to reviews from people who just knock shit. Like none of this other stuff actually fucking exists. Just for the sake of knocking it. That's why I told you, you always got to figure out people's bent. Where they're coming from. Where their critique is coming from. Because that tells you a lot more than just, did you hear so-and-so said it was bad? Well, why did he say it was bad? Because he don't gain shit from telling you he liked it. For the most part, on this since I'm here, the movie was mildly entertaining. It wasn't terrible. Fucking sue me. It wasn't absolutely terrible. Because I've seen some terrible shit. I've seen some terrible television. Wasn't necessarily it. I've seen some terrible fucking movies. Wasn't necessarily it. Because I can tell you this, it wasn't fucking Dark Phoenix. And it wasn't that last piece of shit that I saw from DC, fucking Fury of the Nods, Shazam 2. Wasn't that shit either. Was it Endgame? Absolutely not. Was it Winter Soldier? Absolutely fucking not. Was it Civil War? Absolutely not. But that don't mean that you throw it completely away. There was stuff I liked in it. There was stuff I might not have liked in it. But on the whole, I was into it. I was watching it. And some of the stuff I was enjoying. There were a couple of good scenes in there. I mean, like legit a couple. That I really thought Tiana Parrish and Brie Larson wasn't phoning it in. And it was about the emotional stuff between the two of them. But if you're looking for that emotional tether all the way through, you're not going to find it. Most of what you see emotionally outside of those two being on the screen together happens with Ms. Marvel and her family and Captain Marvel dealing with the consequences of her fucking actions and taking accountability for it. Something that you probably would never hear come out of Brie Larson's mouth. That's why I thought it was funny. I thought it was hella meta. In a good way. Not that bitchy ass Matrix Revolutions way, or excuse me, Resurrections way, meta. Not meta like that. Like that some chick on the rag just complain. No. It was recognizing what's out in the fan base. And recognizing how this character, this actress, is viewed. And having this actress in character say lines that actually translate to the outside world. I thought that was pretty interesting. BMT only gave me $2. I shouldn't read that shit. I'm not supposed to read it if it's that low. But it's BMT. So is this a fun movie for a family to go see? Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a little kid in there on my row. He wasn't having a bad time. And this kid had to be about 6 or so, 6 or 7. He was talking pretty clear and asking questions and shit, so maybe he was 10. I don't know. But he was in there watching the shit and having a good time. And appreciate your BMT for supporting the stream. I wish everybody would follow suit. There's no sexual stuff in it. There isn't. There isn't anything that pushes the veil that, oh, I have to cover my kids' eyes. There's no LGBT flag waving going on outside of that cringeworthy fucking line that I mentioned. Other than that, you can take your family to go see this shit. You can take your kids to go see it and not be all fucked up about it. There ain't a bunch of people getting stabbed in the head and killed and shit like that. No, none of that. Even the people who getting their ass kicked ain't bleeding, ain't bloody, dismembered, arm severed, none of that shit. But it's not that kind of movie either. So yeah, you can take your family to go see it, and in this day and age, that's a fucking plus. Especially if it doesn't have any rainbow agenda thrown all through it. Shit, the closest thing you come to the rainbow is the title screen at the end and the one planet they go to, Aldana. Because everybody colorful. And that was kind of funny. It was. Because I thought, at least on that planet, what they did on that planet was actually clever. Because I watch a lot of sci-fi. I can't really recall seeing that before depicted in that way. Can't. Outside of, I don't know, I think maybe it was in Thor or something like that. But no, I thought it was an interesting way to carry on. It was funny. It's funny. It worked for me. And you got to see a lot of, which I know some of these people will complain about this scene, but the low-key version of it is, there was a lot of minorities in the shit. All over the place. In camera. Bunch of black, brown, Asian folks all over the place. Imagine that. Can you imagine people hating a movie that had that many minorities in it? Oh, I can't imagine that, could you? Oh, we must have forgot what fucking world we living in. So I didn't have a problem with that. Really didn't. Because the whitest thing in this bitch was Brie Larson. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much for show. She was the whitest thing in this movie. Unless they had on makeup. A lot of shades of brown in this bitch. And I don't have a problem with that. That's why I don't have a problem mentioning it. Now, there were two questions I had that were not resolved for me. One of them is, where the fuck did that hammer come from? Second one is, what the hell is it powered by? That's a big question for me. No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad of a movie. And I feel silly for walking into it a little bit with that in my head. But like I told you, when I go to see a movie, I drop all my expectations and just let the movie show me what it's going to show me. No, I have not gone to film school. No, I haven't. So maybe on a technical level, there will be some stuff I missed. No, I didn't go to writing school to write movies and shit like that. So maybe on a writing level and story-wise level, there might be some things I miss. But I'm a fan of this medium. I'm a devotee of this medium, of these characters, of their stories. And the main thing I care about is having a good story that I can watch and be entertained by. I watched it. I was mildly entertained. Okay. That means it wasn't a bad movie. To me. That's what a review or reaction is. It's my opinion. You don't have to agree, and I ain't mad at you if you don't. But you're gonna have to explain to me in your own fucking words why you don't. And not some shit you heard somebody else say somewhere else. Because I can tell you this, everything I just said is from me. That's why it's called my reaction. Not what I heard somebody else say and I felt like fucking repeating to sound smart. That's why, like BMT was pointing out, you get analogies you ain't heard people make. Because it's coming from me. It ain't scripted. I said it many a times. This shit is jazz, not pop. How does she look in the suit? Look, everybody wants to know how the fuck Tiana Parrish looked in the suit. I heard somebody mention that everybody had butt pads in their suits. No. Why would you say some dumb shit like that? But everybody know Tiana Parrish has the biggest ass out of everybody in the crew. Hips and everything. A grown ass woman. Grown ass black woman. Do you really fucking think that she needed butt pads in her fucking suit? That sounds absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know who said that shit. I heard it, and I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I've told y'all before, I was showing up to see Tiana Parrish in her Spectrum suit. That was one of the reasons I was showing up. If you don't think Tiana Parrish got a lower body you would kill to put on some woman that you know, that you messing around with right now, go watch Chirac and see her walking around in them little jean shorts. No, that's your fucking mind. So how does she look in the suit? She looked good in the suit. They did something clever with her suit initially. They made it black. Most of the stuff she was wearing on her lower body was black. Why? To de-emphasize her fucking hips and ass. Now, Iman Vellani, I don't think she's over 18 yet. But she is hippie. So they kept her in kid-looking clothes that are flowing and disguised her body so none of these fucking perverts around here can get their whack-off session on it. Because I can tell you this much, if a guy had directed that shit, she'd be in some skin-tight shit as quick as they can get her in it. for that reason. We're talking about Hollywood. You know, the Weinstein groups. Now, when she hits over 18, 21, you're going to see she got some shape on her. Because she's not an ugly girl. But she ain't that age. So mind your fucking manners. As far as Brie Larson, I've told you guys this before. We noticed it in the first Captain Marvel movie. She had a butt pass. She got a flat butt. I'm sorry, have you not seen Brie Larson? Is she not a white girl? All of them don't have ass. That white girls having ass is a recent development. And I should say white girls having ass in large number is a recent development. For all y'all who don't actually date white girls at all, never have, never will, it's a mixed bag. They'll have hips. All of them ain't got no poked out like a sister or Latina asses. Unless you get them from down south, where they eat some of that healthy food and not some of that granola and wheat germ shit, you'll get it. They'll have some bigger lower bottoms. But it's harder for them to control that shit. That's why they got to stay in the gym hard. So it's a mixed bag. Brie Larson don't have much ass. She don't. She got a chest, but she ain't got no ass. So fucking what? You know who got ass? Harrison Dula. She got ass. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She got ass. And that's a white girl. I think her and Brie Larson are about the same age, if Mary Elizabeth is not a little bit older than her. But Mary Elizabeth has also had a child. She's actually a mother. That weight shapes women differently after they had that baby. Shit settles a little bit differently. They actually fill out. Especially white chicks. Just for all y'all who don't know. So, I'm not worried about that shit. Not primarily. But you get butt shots in this. Yeah, you do. You get to see them from behind. You do. You happy? But that's why Miss Marvel's costume is designed the way it is. Because she's from a culture that they don't emphasize their bodies like that. And she's a fucking kid. Tiana Parrish might feel some kind of way about her big hips. Well, since the black woman is directing the shit, they made sure they de-emphasize those a little bit. It's Disney, right? You know, for kids. And families, sort of. They de-emphasized it a bit. Her final spectrum costume, yeah, it's all white on the back. You can see all her ass. But them side pieces is black to de-emphasize it. So you don't really see her curves as much. Even the Captain Marvel costume got the de-emphasized color, which is a darker blue and maroon, to de-emphasize. It doesn't look so action figure-ish. Because Brie Larson is thin as fuck. She might as well say she a vegan. She thin as fuck. So instead of putting extra padding in her shit to make her look buff, they just shaded it darker. So you don't have to see all of that shit. But she does walk around with her shirt, her superhero top open with her wife beater on and tank top so you can see she got mams. She do. That's what she got. Face and breast. So what? Now what did BMT say? Avoid cornbread fed, make them thick and sandal up. The Negroes Christmas. Yes. Look, BMT, who don't know about a southern white girl get your ass killed? Why is Daisy Duke a thing? Nigga. White chick from Texas, white chick from the South somewhere, Midwest somewhere, healthy shits. Motherfucker, really? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not racist. I like women of any color. Any color. Because women can be beautiful in any fucking color. Sorry, I'm just not born that way. That ain't nobody been cute except somebody that looked like my fucking mama. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not how I was born. I see women and I see beauty when I see it. I see ugly when I see it. And the color is just icing on the cake. It's just frosting, nigga. Because as I was told a long time ago, it's all pink on the inside. So what the fuck do I care about what frosting is on the outside? What up, B Remedy? What up, Mr. Donnie Mac? So for my verdict, I'm about almost an hour in on this. It wasn't that bad. You could probably watch it and find something entertaining about it for you. I will point a couple of things out. When you watch it, for all you older people in here, think about R-Type. Think about R-Type, and you'll see, if you know what R-Type is, that's why I said the older guys, the Gen Xers will know this shit right off the bat. But think about R-Type in some scenes when you're out in space. Okay, think about that. Think about a clever way to evacuate people, because that was clever. That was a clever use of some fucking brain power, because it was an intelligent solution and not a muscle solution. I told y'all before, I don't have a problem with women doing directing or anything like that, because I understand that women bring something different to the table. They think about the problems differently. I'm not saying all of them were created equal. I'm not saying that shit at all. But I understand a woman's solution is not a man's solution. And that solution was clever. It was a clever solution. I liked it. I was like, oh, that was fucking clever. Okay, cool. And there's a couple of scenes in it that did just that. There was a couple of scenes in the movie that were just like that. It was something that was cleverly thought of. I was like, okay, that's decent. All right, I'm cool with that. What did BMT say? Appreciate you, BMT, for supporting the stream. Y'all late. BMT2 on the board. All y'all want to know what an ass look like in a suit, but you ain't donated nothing to the stream. I took my daughter and her friends to go get some Photon comics, and there were costumes at the anime convention. Long as they learn, mission accomplished. Yeah, long as it can feed them back to the original comics with that character is good. And I wasn't disappointed in the Spectrum character being there. I wasn't. She had a good, a couple of good moments in there. I mean, one of which, with the Black Girl Magic line, the context was something happening with Spectrum. And I was more interested in that than giving a fuck about a Black Girl Magic line. That's why I said that shit. It's like, fuck the line, dude. You see what's going on right now? Holy shit. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Why would I give a fuck about the line at that moment? If I want to downgrade what was actually happening with somebody that wasn't pale as a scale. Appreciate that, Lion. I can't see it right now. But you know, Black YouTube, you gotta remind folks. Angry Man damn near to 600,000 subs. He still gotta remind folks to do that shit. I ain't nowhere close. So I sue me for reminding motherfuckers. So yeah, going back BMT and looking for those older comics, Photon, Captain Marvel, first female Captain Marvel, the black one, in comics was good. If you were taking your little girl to go see this, she could feel like there was something that she could like in this. that she could see herself represented in this and representing well, because in the mix of all the females that was in it, one of the smartest females was the black chick. She had power. She can get in there and scrap. She looked funny when she doing her fighting pose. She looked goofy as fuck. That shit looked goofy. She got in her fighting pose. I'm like, oh girl, baby girl, what they do? What did they do? Was the fight team not on set that day so they can correct that shit? Oh man, that looked weak as fuck. Anyway. But at the same time, the chick is smart, capable, pretty. What's not to like about that shit? That sounds like the ingredients for Mrs. MC, motherfucker. I mean, what the fuck? Shit. I don't have a problem with that, personally. So I couldn't come down the same way. I couldn't come down the same way. There are critiques to be made about the shit. There are. But there's also, some praises you can give it too. It's just how the shit rolls. And she does, yeah, Donnie Mac, she does fill that suit out. Look, that suit was made for her, nigga. That wasn't something that they had a one-off of, and just, we'll just alter the suit and give it to you. No, nigga, they made that for her. That's like, what's her name? Fucking, Elizabeth Olsen suit. Her final, Scarlet Witch suit from the Scarlet Witch TV show. Oh, they made that shit for her. They made that shit for her. She got kitties now too and got a little hip action going on. They made that shit for her. Okay, cool. But that's what I care about. You won't be disappointed to see her running around in her suit. She actually getting there and scrap. So it's good. So, what is that, 5:57? With that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and see if I can get me a table in here. It looks like it's kind of packed. So I might have to go to position 2 to get me a pool game in if it's packed. If it's too long of a wait, I'm going to leave because I don't feel like sitting around. I want to get on the table now. You're just waiting for Black Cat? You don't have to wait till a Spider-Man movie come out. And that'll be interesting to see how they downplay her, because the Black Cat costume was like the Selena Kyle Catwoman costume. That motherfucker is slinky. Felicia Hardy filled that bitch out. So I don't know who they gonna cast for Felicia Hardy, but if she don't fill out that suit, it's gonna look like what's her name playing Catwoman. Forgetting her name, my Scorpio sister, because she is a Scorpio around my birthday. So I'm forgetting her name right now, but she ain't got nobody. Good actress, nobody. So her playing Catwoman was like, nigga, this is not slinky at all. Yeah, she got long legs, but Catwoman is more than long legs. Ouch. And I'm not talking about Zoe Kravitz as. Zoe Kravitz looks sexy as fuck in and out of a costume. She'd be my Catwoman. She'd be my Catwoman, I'm just saying. But I'm talking about the other one, the Christopher Nolan one. Can't remember her name at the moment. I'm blanking it out because I don't think she's that cute. But anyway, thank you guys for showing up. My actual verdict on it wasn't that bad of a movie. You can easily go take your family to see it, take your kids to go see it, and they'll probably enjoy the shit. If you go with a female, get the female's perspective on it. See what she thought about it. Anne Hathaway. Thank you, Lionel. Yeah, Anne Hathaway was not my idea of Selena Kyle. Not sexy in the least bit. And my daughter watched The Princess Diaries, so I saw some of that shit. No. Nah, bruh. Need a grown woman playing Selena Kyle. Sorry, she ain't got the assets for it. Master of the Universe Revolution, Yu Yu Hakusho are coming out on Netflix. Congratulations, Ray Hama. I will say this, Ray Hama. Blue Eye Samurai made it to the top of my list because Black Bane sent me a clip of it, and I was watching it, and that shit looked really good. And then I took that clip and sent it to a nameless protagonist, and he was calling out the movements and stuff that dude was doing, like they were really accurate. I'm like, oh shit, then I really need to go move this up on the list to a watch now. So Blue Eye Samurai is on my list this weekend to get into and watch. So if you go watch it, or if you're going to review it, I'll be there to listen to the review. But I'm going to watch it and see what I think of it. I did see finale of Loki, which I really liked, and coming out of this movie, I'm not really it didn't really leave as much of a shit taste in my mouth as I thought it would have. Because I really liked that ending of Loki, and I'll probably go back and watch that shit again. So that's on that. But I got a bunch of videos to do, and I'll try to get them done. I got a birthday dinner party to go to tomorrow night, so I'll probably be up late tonight and early morning trying to get videos done. So bear with me. I only got a week. I got some things planned and some other shit going on that I have to deal with. So, say it, Lion said he saved that to his list as well. Yeah. Hey, Nameless is my brother in ninjutsu, my other Scorpio brother. Okay, I ran that shit by him. He watched the clip and gave me what was accurate about it and what it was and all the rest of that shit. Sold American, nigga. Stamped and sealed. I'm checking it out. So, like I told you guys before, I trust people who know. I don't know every fucking thing. I don't. And I like that I don't know everything because it makes me not be so goddamn arrogant to think I do know everything. And the things I don't know, I talk to people who are experts in that shit and find out what they know. Put me up on some game because I listen more than I speak. So he signed off. I'm checking it out. So that's it. So Marvels. You can watch it. You can enjoy it. It's not as bad as we all thought it was going to be. Even me. It's not as bad as that. Otherwise, we'll talk about it again Sunday on Shop Talk Live. Then I can actually go into some spoilers and talk about some scenes. Maybe I can get my boy JT or Chris to check it out and then come on stream so we can talk about it because they are actual published writers. So I would value their input on script and story a little heavier than most. But that's it for me for now. Thank you for coming up. Thank you to everybody who supported the stream, BMT. If you support it on Cash App, I can't see it at the moment, but you will get the praying hands in a little bit, and I will shout you out on the next stream I do to make sure you get your credit for supporting the stream because I do appreciate it. This is not a huge channel. This is a one-man operation. So I appreciate your support. It goes a long way. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.